Wading in the water, wading in the water, children, wading in the water. God is gonna trouble these waters. Wading in the water, wading in the water, children, wading in the water.
My name is Joy, and I'm from Oakland and Boise. I wear hearing aids, and I'm hard of hearing. I was born with the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. I was in the Oakland Deaf Program in the late 80s, early 90s. And then while I was in the program, it used to be kind of segregated because in the beginning they associated us by hearing loss. So it was me, like pre-kindergarten to later, we were all hard of hearing. I didn't learn sign language until I was 4 or 5 years old, because when I was born, the doctor told my mom that she can hear, so don't learn sign language because we want her to rely on her hearing. So my mom never learned sign language, but mind you, that was back in the 80s, so they did not have the research that they have now. So I've been wearing hearing aids since I was 15, 16 months. And although my family was very supportive of me learning sign language, they also didn't believe in being a dumb disabled. My mom worked with me one-on-one, making sure I knew everything. So by the time I went to school, I was ahead of my classmates. So I was put in mainstream. Not a problem with being mainstream in Oakland back then. I didn't have accommodation. So I was missing a lot of stuff in the classroom because I didn't have an interpreter, and I was only relying on my hearing aids. And I used to be in a classroom with 25 and 30 kids, and that's a big classroom compared to being in a special ed where it's just only a handful of us. After fighting for so many years to get accommodation, my mom just said, forget it, we're going to move to Berkeley. And when I was in Berkeley at 4th grade, within a month of moving to Berkeley, I had all my services that I was asking Oakland School District for 2 to 3 years. I had interpreters. The other thing was, my classmates in Berkeley, their parents were professionals. They were doctors, lawyers, writers. Whereas my classmates in Oakland, their parents were, working class pretty much. So it was a huge contrast where we were majority people of color in Oakland, and in Berkeley, I was the minority. But the great thing about Berkeley was they taught the other classmates, my other classmates, the regular hearing students, sign language. People that were in wheelchairs were not seen as different. We all were together, and that was the blessing about being in Berkeley. Now, thank goodness to my family, they don't believe in, like I said, me being a dumb disabled person. They taught me at an early age that I can do whatever I put my mind to. I can do whatever, go wherever I want to go for college. At the age of 5 or 6, I wanted to go to UC Berkeley. I graduated from UC Berkeley. I got it right, okay? All right. So to be from East Oakland and to go to UC Berkeley and graduate in 3 years, not 4, not 5, but 3 years. That was different. And then I went to Stanford a couple of years later. I graduated in 2007 with my master's in education. So, my grandfather was a teacher in Oakland. He was a dark-skinned man, and he taught me, because I came home one day, this is when I was like 7, 8. I came home crying because somebody didn't want to play with me. My grandfather said, have you ever been called a nigger? And I was like, no. And I knew what it was. He said, well, that's what they used to call me in the street in the South. I'm first California generation. My family migrated to California when my mom was 5 from Louisiana. So he said, I'm from a time where you were called a nigger, but just cause that's what they call me, that doesn't mean that's who I am. I don't respond to it. So people are going to look at you, they're going to look at your hearing aid, they're going to think you're dumb, they're going to think whatever they want to think. But that's not who you are, so don't trip. So that mentality taught me that I'm going to be facing obstacles for the rest of my life. I'm about to be 30 and I'm still facing obstacles. I can't get hearing aids because it's not covered by health insurance. And you know how much a hearing aid, one hearing aid costs? It's like $2,000-$3,000. Who in the hell has that kind of money? And I'm stuck. My hearing aid is 5 years old. You just like computers, cell phones, everything upgrade. You're supposed to upgrade to new technology. I'm fortunate that I'm able to. They still work. So I work for the city of Oakland, and we're, you know how we all dealing with furloughs and budget cuts and everything. So I said, I'm tired of having these degrees and my degrees aren't working for me. So I make my degrees work for myself. So I decided to, I'm a writer. I love to write. So I published a poetry book 2 years ago.
Come on now.
Called Signs of Life, Past, Present, and Future. And you can buy it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com. I'm selling them offhand for $10. I decided to eliminate Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
That's what's up.
Because I felt like I want people to hear my story, but if you're gonna price it at $20, who's gonna buy it? So I started selling it for $10 offhand, and my books have been selling that way. So I'm selling copies of my book. It's also available on my website, www.joylan.webs.com. I have Joylan in Google, and my information will pop up with Facebook and everything. So, in honor of this, I'm going to do one poem that I love to do.
Come on now. Come on now.
I'm an African American Studies major, so I'm very into the Black Panther Party. You know,
that's what's up.
People always want to talk about Martin, Malcolm X. I'm like, what about our own hometown heroes, the Black Panther Party?
Right.
And I believe in educating my youngsters about our history, and then I'm a teacher, so it runs in my family. So I'm going to do 2 quick poems for you, if that's okay.
Come on with it.
I'm a survivor of the transatlantic and trans-American slave trade. I'm a Protestant survivor of rape during slavery. No choice but to carry my babies into this horrible world. My baby being ripped from my uterus and arms. My husband, auctioned off for length for rebellion. I know that because of my skin complexion, I was working in the house saying, yes, master, and acting like I was his loyal subject. Yes, his loyal subject. Subject to all kinds of abuse. While taking care of his family, I'm learning how to read and write and listen to his conversations from one to others. While I wash his clothes outside and pass by the other slaves, I sing, wade in the water, to communicate to the others that the water is the key to freedom. I'm a survivor of slaves learning how to read and write. At night, my work is never done. I teach others how to read and write, but I teach them how to hide it so we don't lose the battle of freedom. Certain trees bore strange fruits, and even though they're not growing in front of us, they're growing in someone's backyard. I'm a survivor of the civil rights movements and dogs attacking me because I want to vote. I'm a Protestant survivor of the Black Power movement, Black Panther Party, power to the people, and police brutality and FBI instigations and infiltration. Our leaders down for a cause, and 2 rappers on 2 coasts use the cause of war within our community. They say the best way to hide something from us is by putting it in a book. After all the things I went through to teach us how to read and write in slavery, these 2 things, which are free, are becoming useless in our community. I'm proud to be from Oakland and Berkeley, 2 cities that represent change and revolution. I'm Black, not African American. I don't identify with the Africans because I don't know what tribe or region I'm from. Because of the one drop rule, I don't know who I was at first. I refuse to call myself an American because I don't want to call myself something where the country doesn't even want me. They keep finding ways to keep me oppressed for its thing. We fought hard for the right to vote, and the moment that we earned it, people aren't registering and getting out there. Our right to vote and freedom may be taken away because we're complacent and we don't know that a war will break out in this country just to put us back into slavery. And trust me, we've been experiencing institutional slavery and racism for the past 50 years. But it's about to get real because we have a black president and he's not backing down. They're afraid he's going to change America for the better and they can't have it. It's getting tougher and tougher for us to vote and express ourselves. There may be 99% of us, but that 1% controls everything. I'm a fighter and I refuse to give up. I learned from all the movements that fought for us to be here today, dead or alive. We have the right to live free. I'm a survivor of all these things because my ancestors built this country and we're being erased out of its history. Pick up a book and learn about the struggles that people went through just for us to be here today. I refuse to let all the movements and those that lay down their life die in vain.